Okay, well, we're gonna get started here. So thank you guys for joining. I'm Lauren. There will be a replay, so if you have to step out because of your schedule, you can always come back and watch it later. But thank you guys for being here. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna take you through a 60-minute Vinyasa flow. So grab your mat, grab a water bottle, a block if you have it, go at your own pace. I will be showing modifications throughout the practice, so take exactly what you need. So let's get started. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position on your mat. And just take your hands and rest them on the tops of your knees. Close your eyes. And just notice how your body feels right here, right now. Notice any sensations. Notice your breath. Notice where you might be holding any tension. I notice I feel a little bit of tension in my shoulders and my neck. Just notice that, maybe bring a little bit of movement there. Notice if you have any tightness in your chest. Can you breathe deeply? Noticing your breath. Noticing if your breath is quick or short. Can you begin to deepen your breath? There's a lot we can't control, but we can control our breath by slowing it down, stretching it out. Breath also brings us back to this present moment, out of our monkey mind of all the thoughts, the to-dos. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold the air, sigh it out your mouth. Do that again. Inhale through your nose. Hold the air in. Let it go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep this breath going. Begin to really stretch the breath out. So a long, slow inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the nose. Notice if you go back to your thoughts and come right back to the breath. 100% of your attention on your breath. Slowly begin to open your eyes. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take a big stretch, look up. And then interlace your hands over your head. Feeling your chest opening up. Feel your shoulder blades pull together on your back. And just twist, not twist, lean over towards the left side. So getting a side body stretch on the right. And then come back through center. Lean over towards the right side, getting a side body stretch on the left. Come back through center, reach up, and then release your hands back down. Okay, let's get started in child's pose. So you're gonna take your knees wide on your mat, big toes together, and then start here, so don't sit down yet. Really get your knees wide, feel your big toes touch. And then reach your fingertips slowly towards the top corners of your mat, feeling your fingers stretch out over the mat, and then bring your forehead to the floor. So you're gonna feel this opening in your upper back. Keep your core engaged here and allow your hips to sink down towards your heels. You can bring a little bit of movement side to side just to kind of relax a little bit more. Keep the breath. And just feel the connection to the ground with your hands, with the tops of your feet, your forehead. And then begin just to take your forehead side to side, drawing your right ear down towards the mat. And then your left ear. Come back to center. And just allow yourself to settle into this pose. Come up to tabletop position. So hands and feet are hip width distance apart. Keep your fingers spread out really wide. And before we do anything here, we're going to just take a few rounds of cat-cow. So we're going to start with cow pose. So in cow, you're going to drop your belly, take your eyes up, and then cat, you're going to round your spine, bring your chin down towards your chest. So inhale on cow, look up. Exhale to cat, chin to chest. 2 more rounds. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. And come back to a neutral spine. Take your right arm, reach it up towards the ceiling. Press into your left hand. So foundation in that left hand, reach your right arm up. We're just gonna thread the needle. So bring your right arm through, bring your right cheek down to the floor. You can either take your left hand towards the top of your mat, or you can just bend your left arm right at your low back. Do what feels comfortable for you. And just allow for a little bit of softness, a little bit of ease right here. Notice your breath. Plant your left hand down, come back to tabletop. Take 1 round of cat-cow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round. Come back to neutral. Take your left arm, reach it up towards the ceiling, opening up your chest. Thread the needle on the other side. So now your left cheek comes down towards the floor. Again, you can reach your right arm towards the top of your mat, or take your right arm and bend it at your low back. Breathe here. Slowly come back to tabletop position. Let's take 1 last round of cat-cow. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral. Curl your toes under. Come into downward facing dog. So in down dog, you want to line your pinkies up with the edges of your mat. Index fingers towards the front of your mat. Let your head be heavy as you press your chest towards the front of your thighs, driving your heels down towards the floor. Feet are hip width distance apart. Set your eyes right between your big toes. You bring some movement to your head here, just really let it be heavy. Slight bend in your elbows. And just breathe. Bring your big toes together. Lift your heels up. Take your right leg, send it up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing into your hands and flex your toes on your right foot. So your pinky toe is facing the floor. All the muscles in your right leg are active. Bend your right knee. Fan your hip open. You can take your eyes underneath your right armpit. Roll out your ankle, roll out your hip. Straighten that leg, bring your foot back to the floor. Left leg lifted up, flex your toes, bend your knee, open up your hip. And this time your eyes are underneath your left armpit and you're pressing your right hand into the mat. That foundation in your hands, you're pushing away to lift up. Straighten your leg, bring your foot back to the floor, and walk your feet to the top of your mat. We're going to come into ragdoll. I'll show this from both sides. So from the front, you want your feet hip-width distance apart, slight bend in your knees, grab opposite elbows and drop your head. And then from the side, you can see I don't want to be totally collapsing down. I want to kind of be lifted up. And bring some movement here, swaying side to side. If you want, you can release your arms and just like noodles, let your arms hang. Shake your head out a little bit. And then bring your fingertips to the floor and just walk your fingertips over towards the right side. So a little bit of side stretch here. Come back through center, take your fingertips over to the left side. And then come back through center. Walk your hands to the top of your mat. Step your feet back. You're going to come into your first high plank here. So this is high plank. You can see my shoulders are over my elbows are over my wrists, and then my heels are over my toes. You can always modify throughout the practice by dropping your knees, and you can take your heels and just cross them. But you want to make sure you're bending at your elbows, and your elbows are at your rib cage. So come back to high plank. Engage your core. You're pulling the pit of your belly up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, slowly lower, low plank, hover here. And then you're going to press the tops of your feet into the floor. Upward facing dog. Hips lift, shoulder blades back. Roll over your toes, downward facing dog. So let's do that again. High plank. Stack your joints. Breathe in. And then bending at your elbows, low plank. Upward facing dog. Lift your hips up off the floor. Look up. Roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. And come right back to breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. This time, lift your heels high. Bend your knees low. Look towards your hands. You can either step or jump forward. Come up for halfway lift. Pull your shoulder blades together. Engage your core. Fold forward. Halfway lift, flat spine. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold, empty the air out. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Get really long. Look up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back, high plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. As you inhale, lift your heels high. As you exhale, bend your knees, feet to your hand. Halfway lift, forward fold. Sweep your arms up. Fold and empty the air out. Halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back. High plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog.
Set your eyes at one point. Keep your eyes set. Take a breath in. Empty it out. 3 more. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees as you exhale. Look towards your hands. Get ready. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Sweep up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. High to low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Let's do one more Sunday. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, high to low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. A deep breath in. Sigh it out. Inhale together. Let it go. As you breathe in, lift your heels high. Empty all the air out. Bend your knees. Squeeze your core. Look towards your hands. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Come into chair pose. So I'll show you guys this pose from both sides too. So if you look down at your feet, you want your big toes together and a little bit of space between your heels. You can almost lift your toes all the way off the mat because you're sinking all the way into your heels. Hips are low. Reach your arms up. Breathe in. Sink your hips lower. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, sink lower. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, forward fold. Switch back, halfway lift. High to low plank. Upward facing dog, look up. Downward facing dog. You're gonna step your right foot forward, warrior 1. So set this up by taking your right knee over your right ankle. Front foot is at 12 o'clock. And then notice where your belly button is facing and turn it towards the front of you. So you want it at 12 o'clock, hips are square. So you cactus your arms here so you get your shoulder blades together. Reach your arms up. Sink a little bit deeper into your front knee. And now reach up, look up, open up your chest. Get this stretch here. Chaturanga, high to low. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward, warrior 1. Breathe in as you rise up. Same thing on this side. Sink into that front knee, bring your left knee over your left ankle. And then press the knife edge of your right foot into the floor. Breathe here. Inhale. Sink. Take a breath in, reach your arms up, go back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take 5 slow, deep breaths. I know I need them. Lift your heels, breathe in. Bend your knees, empty the air. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose, 1 breath in. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior 1. Inhale, rise up all the way, reach up, reach back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward. Warrior one. Breathe in, rise up, reach back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Heels lift. Bend your knees, look forward. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose, hips low. Reach your arms up. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one. Plant your foot, reach your arms up, go back. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. Reach up. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. This is why I like superstars do cardio. And they run on treadmills so they can sing and dance. So I hope you guys are feeling good. Having a good Wednesday. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Sigh it out. Do that again. Inhale. Clear it. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Look forward. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Breathe in here. Fold forward. Halfway. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, warrior one. Let's flow. Reach up. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, rise up. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. We'll do one more Senbi. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Chair pose. Fold forward. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Warrior one. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Come right back to your breath. Maybe you're feeling your heart rate has gone up now. Begin just to calm it with your breathing. Deep breath in. Let it go. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Now bring your big toes to touch at the back of your mat. You're going to take your right leg up towards the ceiling. Keep your toes flexed. And you're going to bring your knee to your nose. Hug it in. Kick it back up. This time, knee to your left elbow, so across your body. Flex your toes on your right foot. Send that back up. Right knee to your right elbow. Send it back. Knee to your nose. Stay here. Hug it in. Kick it back up. And now bend your knee. Open up your hip. And we're going to just flip our dogs here. So flip your dog. And notice your feet right away where your feet land. Bring them hip width distance apart. So a trick you could do is you could actually take a seat here, bring your feet at 12 o'clock, bring your bum closer to your feet, plant your hand behind you, and then reach back up. Dropping your head, looking towards the floor. And then take that arm all the way up. Come into a high plank. And then come into side plank on the right. So I'm going to be facing this way for this one. I'll be on the other side next time. But right hand down, left hand up. Flex your toes towards your face. Heels are stacked. And if you're here, then take your leg up. Keeping your toes active. You can even come into tree pose. Stay for another breath in. Come back, high plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe here. Take your right leg, lift it back up. And then you're going to step it through for crescent lunge. So crescent lunge, front foot is at 12 o'clock. Actually, everybody stay here for a second. Stay in a low lunge. Take your right foot out towards the right side of your back. So normally wider than you would. And then take a look at your back left foot. Come up on the ball of your back foot. And then come up. So your feet are wide apart. They're not like on a train, they're not on a tightrope, they're like on a train track. Right knee is over your right ankle. And then start here by cactusing your arms so you get your shoulder blades pulling together, collarbone spread wide. Now take your arms up and breathe. Bring your hands to heart center. Lift your chest up, then twist to your right side. Ooh. And you notice a lot of times that left knee wants to drop down like this. And if you're there, then stay here and drop your shin down. But if you can lift your knee up, press it up towards the ceiling. So you don't want that in between. You either want your knee down the floor, lift it up, and then open up your arms. Breathe here. Notice if your belly begins to kind of rest on that right thigh, and then lift it up. Come back to crescent lunge. Reach your arms up. And then come into warrior two. Kind of funny, so now I'm facing the back of you guys, but same thing on the side. Knee over your right ankle. And flip your palms up towards the ceiling to relax your shoulders. And then flip them back down. Sink deep into your front knee. Set your eyes at one point. Maybe it's on your fingernails. Just keep them set. Your eyes set. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, keep bending into your front knee. Come into extended side angle. So I have a block I like to use here, so I'll take the block to the inside of my right foot, and then I press my right knee open with my right elbow and take my left arm up. So you can be here, you can also be here. Or if you want to take on a bind, take on a bind. Whatever feels right for your practice. Stay for one more breath in. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Come back to this home base right here. Come back to your breath. Okay, we got the whole left side. So take your left leg, lift it up, flex your toes. Bring your knee to your nose. Send it back up. Left knee to your right elbow. Send it back up. Left knee to your left elbow. Toes are flexed. Send it back up. Bring your knee to your nose. Hug it in. And then send it back up. Bend your knee. Open your hip. Flip your dog. Again, toes are at 12 o'clock. Hips lift up towards the ceiling. You want to take wheel. If you have space to take wheel, take wheel. One trick here is to cactus your arms too, so you get your shoulder blades together. It opens up your chest more, and then you can reach. So try that on. Reach back up with the left hand. Come back to high plank. We're going to come into side plank on the left. So left hand to the floor. Top arm up towards the ceiling. Again, stacking your heels one over the other. And you can be here, or you can lift that top leg up, or come into tree. Just get that opening in your chest. Breathe. Stay for one more inhale here. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Clear it out. Send that left leg back. Step it through crescent lunge on the left. And stay low for a moment here. So again, you can either drop down to your right shin, or you can come up to the ball of your right foot, heels over your toes, and then take your left foot out towards the left side of your mat, and then come up. Pulling your shoulder blades together. You could actually take your hands to your rib cage to pull and knit your ribs together, and then reach your arms up. Hands to heart center, shoulder blades together, breathe in, twist to your left side. Then keep that back leg lifted up and active. And when you're ready, open up your arms. Deepening your breath. Come back, crescent lunge. Warrior two. Take a look at your feet. See that like you could almost draw an imaginary line from your left heel all the way back to your right. And if you can, take your stance longer. Come into like a really long warrior two. And oftentimes our knees want to kind of dip in towards the center. Bring that left knee back over your left ankle. Action in your hands. Spread your fingers out wide. Now set your drishti. Breathe. Flip your front palm, reverse. Come into extended side angle on the left. Again, I'm going to use the block here. If you have a block, use it. If not, just take your hand to the mat, or you can take your forearm to the top of your thigh. You're just creating that 90-degree angle with your leg. Chest is opening up towards the ceiling. Maybe you drop your right hip a little bit lower. Two more breaths. Inhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Let it go. You guys sweating at home? The heat's not even on here and I'm sweating, so that's good. Come right back to breath. On your next inhale, lift your heels up. As you exhale, bend your knees, squeeze your core, look towards your hands, step or jump forward. Halfway lift, fold, chair pose, sinking your hips low, hands to heart center, twist to your right, and open up your arms. So I'll show you guys this from the face-on angle too. So my hips are square towards the floor, my knees are in one line, and I'm sinking all the weight into my heels. A lot of times people lean forward like this, and you want to lift up. You want your heart higher than your hips. So notice if you're collapsing down, and then lift up. So you're squeezing your core, you're pulling your shoulder blades together, opening up your chest. Breathe here. One more breath in. fold forward. Separate your feet, hip width distance. Take your peace sign fingers, grab your big toes, come into yogi toe lock. So this pose is kind of like an active pose, and it's a restful pose. We call it Sthira-Sukha, active rest. So it's kind of like a little bit of a release, but your legs are still staying strong. Not like totally releasing here, just letting your head go. Bring some movement to your neck. Soften your knees a bit more. You can see what it feels like if you straighten your knee, straighten your legs, and then bend your knees a lot. Bringing a little bit of ease here. And then toe your feet back to touch. Come up to a halfway lift. Fold forward. Come back to chair pose. Again, hips sinking low towards the floor. Chest lifting up. Hands to heart center. Breathe in. Twist to your left side. Opening up your arms. Drop your hips a little bit lower. Breathe in. Breathe out. Open up your chest. Fold. Take your feet wide. We're going to come into gorilla pose. So I'll show you this from the side angle. So the feet are as wide as your mat. You're going to take your palms, slide them underneath your feet so your toes meet your wrists. You can play around with the weight here by kind of shifting forward and shifting back. But let your neck be long. And shake your head out. Begin to deepen your breath. And then slowly release your toes. Toe heel your feet together. Come up to a halfway lift. Fold forward. Reach up. Arms up towards the ceiling. Look up. We're going to come into eagle on the right side. Right arm under. Right leg over. You want to pull your right hip towards the back of the room. A lot of times we want to kind of twist forward. Then you want to pull that right hip back so your hips are square. Elbows are away from your face. Eyes are at one point. Sink a little bit lower. Unwind your arms, sweep up. Eagle on the left, so your left arm comes under, left leg over. Modification here would be just to grab opposite shoulders like this. If that feels better for you, you can try that out. And if you're in eagle, make sure your thumbs are facing you. Steady your breath. Unwind, sweep up. We're going to take eagle one more time each side. Right arm under, right leg over. Squeezing everything in towards the center line of our bodies. And slowly begin to hinge forward, bringing your elbows down towards your knees. Come into airplane pose. So shoulder blades pull together. A trick here is to interlace your hands at your low back. If you can see it, I'll do it from the side too. So I can interlace my hands, and that's going to bring my shoulder blades together. And then I can release my hands, palms face the floor. Chest lifts up. And then keep that right knee lifted. Bring it up towards your chest. Flex your toes on your right foot. Open up your right knee. We're going to come into standing leg raise. So from the front angle, it's going to look like this.
You can also straighten your right leg and grab your big toe. But notice if you're collapsing your shoulders, squeeze them together, lift your chest up. Come back to center, feet together. Reach your arms up. Take eagle on the left, left arm under, left leg over. Begin to slowly fold yourself in half. And then come into airplane pose. Softening your right knee. Keeping your left leg lifted. Bring it back into your chest. Flex your toes on your left foot. Take your left hand to your knee or to your big toe. Open up, standing leg raise. Come back to center, feet together. Let's take dancer on the right side. So to set up dancer, take your left hand, reach it up towards the ceiling. You're gonna take your right hand to the inside of your right foot, set your knees in one line, and then slowly reach forward, kicking your foot back into your right hand. And there's a combination of reaching and also pulling together of your shoulder blades. Relax your jaw. A lot of times, especially for me in this pose, I get super serious. So like release any tension you might be holding in your face. Feet together. Dancer on the left. Reach your right arm up. Catch the inside of your left foot. Knees in one line. And slowly reach forward. If you notice your breath got choppy again, begin to slow it down and release. Let's do one more set. I'll show it from this angle too. So dancer on the right. Really take your time coming into the pose. All right, when things get like challenging, we tend to rush, when actually it helps for us to slow down. We just kind of want to get through it instead of just kind of taking our time and bringing ease. And switch. Right hand up, reach back, catch the inside of your left foot. And release. Last balancing pose, we're going to come into tree pose on the right side. So come back to foundation here. And then take your right foot up. You can bring your hands to your heart, pull your shoulder blades together. And when you're ready, reach up. Always an option to cactus or take reverse prayer too. Release. Tree pose, left foot up. Notice where your eyes go. If your eyes begin to like go towards the floor, take your eyes up. Look up. And as you look up, you'll notice like your chest expands even more. Make this pose expansive. Hands back to heart center. And feet together. Extended mountain pose, reach up.
fold forward, halfway lift, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward, warrior one. Warrior two, check in with that front knee. Now reverse your warrior, keep bending into your front knee. Get this stretch here as you begin to straighten your leg for archer pose. Keep reaching back and then come up. Reach your fingertips forward, come into triangle pose. If you have your block, you can take your block to the outside of your shin like this. Or you can take your right hand to your shin and just kind of reach up. And you don't want to be sinking down here, you want to be lifting up. So legs are strong, you're pressing into your feet, and you're like spinning your chest up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. If you want more of a challenge, you can take that right hand and kind of pull it away from your body so your core is active. Now take your top arm overhead, lift your bottom arm up, slowly come up to standing. We're going to come into a side-facing wide-legged forward fold. So both feet, so your heels are going to be wider than your toes, and then you're going to just drop your head down. Bring your hands to your hips, come back up to standing. We're going to come right into triangle pose. So hips are square, shoulder blades together, and then fold over your right leg. And then chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left side, warrior one, rise up. Warrior two. Stay here, breathe in. Breathe out. Reverse, keep the bend in your front knee for a moment, and then straighten your front leg. Come into triangle pose. It feels much better to face the camera. Lift your chest up, squeeze your core in. Again, you can just take that left hand, activate your fingers, engage your core. Reach your top arm overhead and come up to standing. And then take one more side-facing forward fold on this side. Dropping your hands down. You can take any bends you need here in your knees. You want to take a headstand or a tripod headstand at home, take it. If you can, if there's room without taking out the TV. And then slowly come up. Make your way into triangle on the left side. So again, I'm going to step my right foot halfway up my mat. My hips are square. And then hinging forward, I'm going to bring my nose down towards my left knee. Keep my spine long. No wrinkles in my neck. And then plant my hands, step back, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Sigh it out. Do that again. Breathe in. Really let something go here. Do that one more time. Take a breath in. Huge sigh out. And then jump through, come right into bridge pose. So right away, bring your feet to 12 o'clock. Lift your hips up. You're going to press into your feet to send your belly button up towards the ceiling. And then slowly come down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back up. Bridge pose. And then come down. Take a breath in. Let it go. Come back up, bridge. And this time in bridge, we're gonna take our right foot. We're gonna send it up towards the ceiling. So you're gonna like make a footprint on the ceiling with your right foot. You're pressing your left foot into the ground. Breathe here. Okay, stay lifted, bring that right foot down. Take your left leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your toes, lift your hips high. And then bring that knee down, that foot down. And you can take your knees side to side. We're gonna just do one more back bend. So your choice here, you can do one more bridge, or if you wanna take a wheel at home or wherever you are, take a wheel, take what you need. We're gonna come up, we're gonna take 5 breaths here. So wherever you are, bridge or wheel, take 5 breaths. I'm gonna take a wheel. I'm gonna plant my hands, I'm gonna lift my hips up. I'm pressing my chest behind me, pressing into my hands, pressing into my feet. 5 breaths here. You guys got this. Lift up. Wherever you are, come down. Awesome work, you guys. If there's anybody at home with you, tell them to give you invisible fist pump. I always say invisible fist pump, just a fist pump. And then come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So take your knees wide, soles of your feet together. You could take your right hand right over your heart, take your left hand to your belly. That feels good. Or take opposite elbows over your head. Take some deep breaths here. And if your right hand was on your heart, bring your left hand to your heart, bring your right hand to your belly. Just feel your power, feel your heartbeat, feel your breath. And then release and hug both knees into your chest. Come into a happy baby. You can reach around and catch the outside of your feet and just rock side to side. And coming back to center, we're going to do some hips on our back. So start by placing both of your feet on the floor and then lift your right foot up. Take your right foot to the top of your left thigh. You're going to come into this figure 4. Left toes are flexed. And you can just reach through and catch the back of your left thigh. Just opening up the hip on the right side. You want to take your right hand and press your right knee forward. You can do that. And then we're going to stay here and you're going to take your right foot and you're going to place it flat on the floor. So your left hip's going to come down to the floor. So right foot is flat on the floor and you're going to reach around if you can. With your right hand, catch your left foot. We're just kind of taking a deep pretzel twist here. So right foot is flat. My right hand is reaching around and catching my left foot. I'm going to take my eyes over to the right. Slowly release. Hug both knees into your chest. Place your feet on the floor. Now take your left foot to the front of your right thigh. And then reach through, opening up the hip on the left side. Keep your feet flexed. And then
Plant your right foot back on the floor. Take your left foot, place it flat, reach around and catch your right foot with your left hand. Take your eyes over to the left. Slowly release, hug both knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. And slowly release onto your mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Let your toes just kind of drop to the sides. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath of you, and then let your palms just face the ceiling. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. Relax the muscles around your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders, your neck. Release any tension you might be holding in your shoulders. Kind of let it melt into the mat. Relax your spine, your hips. Relax your legs, your toes. Relax your fingers. Just allow every single muscle and bone in your body to just relax and to be still. Be still. Allow yourself to be supported by the floor beneath you. Just allow yourself to come into stillness. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a breath in through your nose. Hold the air in. Sigh it out. Take a breath in through your nose. Hold the air in. Sip in a little bit more air. Empty all the air out. Last one, take your biggest breath in through your nose. Hold the air in. Sip in more air. Let it go. Bring your knees into your chest and gently roll to your right side. Keeping your eyes closed, stay here for a moment. Acknowledge yourself. Show yourself gratitude, kindness, especially during these times. Like, be extra kind to yourself. Just know that you are doing the best that you can. And that's enough, always. Begin to make your way up to a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed here. And just bring your hands back to the tops of your knees. And just come back to awareness. Notice how your body feels now versus the start of our practice this morning. Maybe there's more space, more ease. Bring your hand to your heart. Bring your hands to your heart. Take one final breath in here. Let it go. Bring the knuckles of your thumbs to the center of your forehead. The light in me honors the light in every single one of you. Together we bow and say, Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining. Please leave some comments or feedback in the Instagram feed. And I hope to see you guys soon. I will be sharing this recording as well. So have a great day. Thank you guys.